Hello and welcome all to my new channel. So, as you would know, my channel is called 3 Card Style. That was very aptly chosen because, well, this is a channel about the One Piece TCG, which obviously is about cards. And my favorite One Piece character is Zoro, as you can see featured here in my lovely trio. So I figured what better name than 3 Card Style that personifies my favorite character. So I guess starting off with these lovely characters here in front of us. I managed to pick these guys up while I was in Japan back in March this year, all within the Kumamoto region. So these statues are very unique, that you can only pick them up in Kumamoto itself, and they're all accompanied with a life-sized statue, which I went and saw each and every one of them. I've got a statue for every single member of the One Piece crew, of the Straw Hat crew, sorry, including Jinbei. So they are all sitting snugly in my display case, but I figured what better company to have on these videos than the Monster Trio themselves. So they will be featured in this video and quite possibly the videos to come. So I guess to set the pace of this channel, I just wanted to come to you guys and explain what it is I plan on doing and how I got here. So as I said, I was in Japan early this year and went around, and I happened across some of the Mugiwara stores which are sprinkled throughout Japan. So while I was there, I actually picked up this lovely shirt here. Beautiful Kurazan shirt, amongst some other things. And just got in amongst it and saw how beautiful the community is in Japan around One Piece, and just Oda's generosity. And I came across a lot of these One Piece cards which I hadn't previously known about. As you guys may or may not know, the One Piece card game has only been around for, I believe, 2 years now, so it's still very fresh in the world of TCGs. And as I saw them around, it kind of piqued my interest, and I started to look into them and thought, yeah, I've never really been too deep in TCGs in the past. I dabbled with Yu-Gi-Oh! Just playfully with my brother back in the day, but other than that, didn't really get into Pokemon cards or anything like that, and figured, why not One Piece? Love the anime, been watching it for as long as I can remember, read it as often as I can, and always look forward to seeing the latest installments of Oda's masterpiece. And so when I was in Japan last, about a month or two back, I decided that I would start my collection. And in the process, I went through and just gathered things that kind of caught my eye, because to be completely honest, I didn't really know much about it at all. So I'll start off by showing you all the ones that I picked up in my travels. So the first one I picked up was this beautiful starter deck. Always got to start with the first, right? So STO1 was the one that made sense. So with all these cards, I will be doing separate videos to open them and go through all the details that I've learned, and as I learned them, I guess you guys can learn them with me. But yeah, so another one that I picked up was this ST15. You're probably picking up a bit of a trend now that my favorite color is red, and I figured start off with the red Luffy starter, why not go with another red one? So picked up this Edward Newgate ST15 starter deck, and no idea if the colors really meant anything. Just thought they looked nice. In the process, I went there with my fiance and we dabbled in some lottery crane games, and I'm telling you, these things were so fun. At first I was a bit skeptical in wasting time and money in them, but my fiance convinced me to have a bit of a play, and I tell you, we were instantly hooked. We sat there and we didn't spend too much money, but enough to have fun with it, and in the process we picked up some booster packs. So the booster packs that we managed to pick up were some of these OP07s. So we've got 5 of those. So we will get stuck into those on another video again. So that's I believe it's the 500 years in the future booster packs. So these ones are also available in English and other languages, I believe. But all these ones are so far in Japanese. Then we managed to snag some PRB01s. So these ones have recently become available in English, and from what I understand, they are highly sought after because they not only have cards from, like, they're not just new cards, but they're basically re-releases and reprints of the earlier the earlier booster packs. So I could be wrong, but I believe they're from OP01 to OP05, and they've basically hand selected the most playable and most relevant cards from those decks and stuck them in a lot easier to access booster packs. So here we got some PRB01s, and along with that one we got a whole booster pack of those, and as you see up here in this corner we've got a number 1. So really cool story with this one is in the crane game lottery games that we were playing, there was numbers ranging from 1 to 4, and the number 4 was basically a section of some random low-level cards. 3, a bit better. 2 is starting to get into a bit of a more major prizes, and then 1 is basically top prize, and then they had a special one above that, which was basically something they only had one of in the store, so quite hard to get a hold of. And what was really cool about this crane game is they had... they had photos all around the outside of this crane game of people that were that had to manage to get a top 1 or special prize. And while my partner were there the first day, we noticed there was a photo of this one guy that had about half a dozen or so of his photo all around this guy, or all around these crane games. And we figured, geez, this guy must be quite the regular. And we went through, we got a few packs and had good fun with it. Then we went home, came back the next day, which was actually our last day in Japan, and this specific store was in Osaka. We went back to figure we'd just have a bit of a look, try our luck. We were really wanting to get our photo on that crane game before we left, so we decided to pop in, have a look, and there was someone on the crane. As we sat there, we kind of talked between ourselves, and my fiance said, this guy looks pretty familiar, like I think he might be this guy on the crane. And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe. And so he kind of took a bit of a pause to reload up the machine with some more tokens, and my fiance tapped him on the shoulder, like, excuse me, is this you? And he turns around with a big smile on his face, like, yeah. And he like pointed to all the other photos of him, and like basically starstruck. We've essentially run into a celebrity here. So we talked a bit back and forth, like he knew a bit of English, so that helped. And yeah, got pretty excited, and then the attendant from behind the counter comes up. He's like, yeah, so they are all him, and then shows a fresh picture of him that he just won that day, that he was getting put up on the machine. And so he gave us a few tips on, the best way to go about winning as much as you can out of these machines. And so my fiance and I took those tips, jumped on, and he watched on for a while as we did, and gave us a few more tips. And we basically just filled this container with these tickets. There was a few big balls as well, which were guaranteed, I believe, number 3 or higher in them. And so we got a few of those. We sat down at the end, going through them all. Got a ton of 4s, which the attendant was nice enough to, instead of giving us a couple of singles in pouches, he let us substitute them for some of these unopened boosters. So I was quite pleased with that, because I was really looking forward to the excitement of opening up the boosters themselves and seeing what I get, rather than just hand picking or random picking pre-opened ones. And as we were going through, we happened to open a number 1 ticket, and which meant we got to win one of the top prizes and get a photo on the crane game, which we were super stoked about. It was so cool to actually have something left behind that hopefully when we come back again, we'll see our photo there and we can reminisce about that. So if you guys are in the area, who knows, you may be able to pop in and see our photo there. I'll leave a link in the description below of what this place was, so you guys can get in amongst it. But yeah, so I think the choices for the number 1 prize were either the EB01 or the PRB01. So we ended up going with this one. I'm not entirely sure what the EB01 specializes in or focuses on, or what the point behind that one is. But the PRB1 is the, as I said before, is the premium, well, it's premium booster pack with all those little features that I mentioned before. So that's going to be really exciting to get in amongst. And then we've got a couple of OP09s. So this is the latest boosters that have been released. Currently only available in Japanese, and I believe the English versions are getting released in mid-December. So they will be pretty cool and add a whole new element to the game, I believe. I'm not too sure what extra elements or characters or techniques and styles will come with these new cards, but it's the new 4 Emperor booster pack. So that, I'm assuming, will feature the 4 Emperors, and I believe that the key thing with this booster pack is they have a manga version of the cards of the 4 Emperors, and also a Goldie Roger manga. So super excited to try my hand at opening some of those. So we got four boosters there, plus I picked up a booster box of the OP09 as well. So this one here I bought separately before I got to the crane game. So again, I had no idea what they all were really, and I just got lucky with happening to pick up this OP09, the latest set of boosters. So we got those as well. And then also as part of the crane games is I picked up some singles. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 singles, which I will go through in a second. And also a double mystery sleeve. So I'll go through those now. So I'll leave the mystery one to last, and we'll go through these ones. So these ones were all SRs because, as I said, I handpicked these ones and they just looked really fancy. So I figured, why not start my collection with some SRs? So as you can see here, so we got Kuzan here. So from what I understand, we've got a few details here in the bottom right corner. So this one, I believe, represents the printing wave. So I believe they're up to either the second or the third printing wave. And so we got the first one there. Then this in beside it says SR is the rarity. So SR super rare. And I believe they go C for common, R for, oh sorry, UC for uncommon, R for rare, SR for super rare. Then I believe there's SP for special. And then they've got variations of those with a star or coloring to indicate alternate arts and so on and so forth. So this one here is a character card. And so you can see up here on the top right is the power of the character card. This symbol in the top right, I believe, indicates what type of card it is. So like a striker, blocker, or whatever else. I could be wrong in that. And in the top left here is the card cost to play it. So how many Don cards it requires to play this card. So here, so we've got some pretty cool foil on the SRs as standard. So, I mean, no idea what the values of these are, and I will be putting a indicator on the cards in my videos to show the values of the SR and higher cards. So we got the Kuzan, we got Whitebeard or Edward Newgate. It's a cool card there. So really cool details with the foils in these. Got Barcelino. They've really done some really cool work with the way they've accentuated the details of the card using the foils. You can see there, we got Perospero, Ulti, Sanji, looking pretty badass there with his face there in the background. And Basil Hawkins. That's a pretty badass looking card. Look at that. And then, finally, we've got these mystery cards. So again, these ones were from the Crane game, and they were just the mystery pack that came from it. So we've got here, so we see here in the bottom right corner is just a rare. So as you can see, it still looks pretty cool, but it doesn't have the foiling of the SRs. Not too sure who this character is. It looks like he's part of the Sun Pirates though, from that tattoo on his chest. And finally, we've got SR Sabo. That looks sick. Look at that. So cool. But yeah, so that's my collection of what I will be going through in good time. So, got all of those. So yeah, please stay tuned, and I will get stuck into all these cards in the next couple of videos. Thank you all for taking the time to see what this is all about, what my channel is about, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you. Bye.